You probably clicked on this video for one of two reasons. You either tried getting on a diet, but then after a short while fell off and it wasn't sustainable. Or you actually have no idea when it comes to nutrition. And I don't blame you. It took me a very long time to figure this whole fitness thing out since starting 10 years ago. I've tried all the diets you can think of, like keto, low carb such as paleo, Atkins, etc., and a bunch of many other ones that I honestly forgot the names of. And funnily enough, now I eat pretty much anything I want. I don't count calories, I don't weigh my food, and I've never felt or looked better. There are important principles to follow, and if you do, it will rewire your mindset towards food completely, and perhaps give you the answers and results you've been looking for. Here's the truth. Most of you watching, more than 99% of you, are not looking to be professional bodybuilders and step on stage. You're just looking to be strong enough, build a muscular frame, and be lean, to look good without your shirt off at the beach or at the pool. But most importantly, feel confident with yourself. And here's the problem. With all of the guys you see online, the majority of them are on enhanced drugs, which allows them to eat 4,000 plus calories to build muscle and be lean, and train for 2 hours and more at the gym. But as naturals, you simply don't have that edge. So you compare yourself with them and try to follow something that isn't aligned with yourself. You follow them, but it all just seems so overwhelming. I mean, you go to a supplement store or order from your favorite brand, and there are so many options to choose from. So many options that are all full of chemicals that aren't good for you. I walk down the supplement aisle at the supermarket and see all of the stuff I used to think I needed. Protein powder, mass gainers, etc. The list goes on. Whatever happened to eating real meat for protein? Whatever happened to eating real carb sources for energy and not some gel you suck out of a pack? So the question remains, how can you go by your every day-to-day life, eating whatever you want without feeling guilty, all while building muscle and staying lean? The answer is simple. Whole foods. Single ingredient sources that are full of macro and micronutrients that your body actually digests. So let me explain. You see, on paper, 3 eggs and a protein bar might look the same, have the same amount of protein, but the key difference is that those eggs will have a much better bioavailability of that protein, and you digest it much better. With the protein bar, your body is struggling to digest everything else that comes with it, and it leaves you with weird stomach grunts and gas that just doesn't seem normal. Yet you normalize it because it fits my macros. So what I'm trying to say here is, just because it might fit your macros, stop looking at it like that, and stop thinking that it's good for you. Anything on paper can be good for you, but in reality, it isn't. Secondly, intermittent fasting. This is pretty much a cheat code, and it's incredible how powerful it really is. It's not a diet, it's just an eating time frame. And I don't see it as a restriction either, because I get to pretty much consume anything I want without second guessing, feeling guilty, and any of that within that time frame. Having said that, you obviously need to hit your protein target goals, which is around 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Now you probably might have heard that. Anything beyond that really is just going to waste. And if you're eating 3 protein-rich meals per day, you will easily hit that target. You don't need 250 grams of protein, man. I personally get around 150 to 180 grams, and I'm just perfectly fine. Having said all of this, is this the only way to get lean? No. There are plenty of ways to skin a cat. A lot of you guys have asked me in the comments before saying, I work out very early in the morning, how am I supposed to fast until midday? Well, you simply can't, because after working out, you need to eat. You don't need to eat immediately, but 30 to 60 minutes after your workout, depending on the intensity of your workout, you need to fuel your body for recovery and for glycogen replenishment. So if you're working out very early in the morning, I would definitely not recommend waiting until midday or 1 to eat your first meal. That's just gonna set you back, and that is not good for your hormones, it's not good for your body, for anything. In that case, you have to either change your workout schedule or change your eating time window. I've never done an eating time window from the early morning until afternoon and then just not had anything throughout the evening. Personally, doesn't work for me, but hey, it might work for you, so you can try it out. Now, like I said, this doesn't mean that this is the only way. As long as you focus on whole foods, you're good to go. This is just pretty much cheat code. Thirdly, and probably the most important, is your mindset towards food. Now, I personally have stopped indulging in food because of the better habits I've created around it and my mindset towards it. I look at food as fuel right now. Now, I have a friend who came up to me and said, I agree with you on many things regarding the fitness, but not that. Here's the truth, and this is what I tried to explain to him and what I'm going to try to explain to you too. Your body needs to be treated as a supercar, and you wouldn't put cheap fuel into a Ferrari. Now, I don't have a Ferrari, but I treat my body like one, and you should do too. It's your main vehicle for going through life. So think about that for a second. The expression, you are what you eat, really is true. So when my mindset shifted and my thinking, just that immediately removed my cravings for fast food, packaged snacks, frozen food, etc. It allowed me to start thinking, okay, how can I make better and healthier alternatives to this that are similar, same, but healthier? This brings me to sweet cravings. Whoever told you that you cannot eat sweet things to get fit wronged you, because you can. And I eat it pretty much every single day. The only difference is that I make healthier and better choices. And I only stick to a few sources, which are dates, raw honey, fruits, and then I also have chocolate, 90% and above. Not really a sweet thing, but you get the gist. It's a snack. And it's incredible what you can make out of just these ingredients. I mean, if you mix up 100% hazelnut butter with some honey and some 100% cacao powder, you pretty much have yourself Nutella that even tastes better than Nutella. And it's only 3 ingredients instead of all the chemicals and the amount of sugar that they put in there. Like I said, sugar is not bad for you. It's just that you have to choose the better alternative. You can chop up 2 bananas, mix some oats in there, put some dark chocolate in there, a little bit of milk, chuck it in the oven, and there you have yourself a banana cake. Perfectly sweet. The list goes on. So many different sweet treats you can make like this, just out of these ingredients. So what do my meals look like on a day-to-day basis? Well, the first meal I always have is pretty much the same. I always have 4 eggs. I'll throw in some egg white in there, here and there, not all the time. I'll have cottage cheese. Don't count it. I just do usually half the little small tub. Maybe I'll throw half an avocado on there sometimes, maybe some smoked salmon, maybe some sourdough bread as well, just depending on how I feel really. I'll make the omelet in different ways. Sometimes I'll have sunny side up, it doesn't matter. Fry up some different veggies, cut up some peppers, put it in there, make an omelet out of it. You can make them many different ways. Great for you, good amount of protein, good amount of fat. It's a perfectly light and balanced meal that's rich in all the nutrients your body needs. Now for the second meal and the third meal, I'll follow my plate rule, which basically has the amount of protein I want on it, the amount of veggies, the micronutrients, and the amount of carbs in there, and it all varies. There's many different sources of protein. You can have lean meat, you can have poultry, chicken, turkey, you can have fish, a variety. So I always mix it up. A colorful plate is what you want to go for. Have a variety of veggies in there. Carb sources, potato, sweet potato, rice, quinoa. You get the gist. Single ingredient foods. Now for a sweet snack, I usually will nibble on some dark chocolate, just a little square size, or I'll have a fruit, a banana or an apple, or my favorite, I'll make a Greek yogurt bowl or a skyr yogurt bowl. Both are great, and I'll throw on there any fruit I want. Maybe some cacao nibs, maybe sometimes I'll mix raw cacao powder in there. I'll throw honey on that. If I wanted some more carbs for that day, if I trained and I ran a lot, then I would probably add a little bit of oats on there. Hydration, very important. I drink 2 to 3 liters of water every single day. What I'm trying to say is that when you improve these habits, and especially your mindset, all of these cravings will just simply disappear. You won't have any cravings for all the poor quality stuff out there. And this is the problem. All of the food you're getting that's packaged is full of chemicals, and these chemicals are not good for you. And especially the fast food. It's making you addictive. You are constantly feeling hungry. You're having poor digestion issues. What you need to be working on is your gut. You need to be focusing on the single ingredient foods that are low in inflammation and in high bioavailability of the nutrients. If you follow just these simple 3 rules, sticking to only whole foods, single ingredient, if you want to try intermittent fasting, you can. I would absolutely recommend it. It works like magic, but if not, you don't necessarily need to. And 3, for the sweet cravings, making better choices. Now, also another question I get a lot is dirty bulking versus lean bulking. Dirty bulking is something I've never done in my life, and I really do not recommend it because you're eating so much junk and just putting on so much extra weight on to build muscle that it really is not necessary. Okay, because once you put on all of that weight, you're also storing a lot of fat cells and you're building fat. And so it's very difficult then to burn all of that off. It's much easier to overeat than it is to lose that weight. And the problem is that when you gain all of that weight in fat, you also store those fat cells for a very long time in your body. So you're more prone to gaining weight easier in the future, especially as you age and as your metabolism slows down. Always, if you are looking to build muscle, do lean bulking, which means eating at a 300 to 500 calorie surplus. But then again, you stick to only whole foods and healthy choices. Of course, this is going to take a bit more time for you to build muscle, but it's going to pay out in long term much better. Your body will have a natural slow progression. You won't have a huge stress on your body, on your gut, on your nervous system, on everything. You will stay lean throughout. You're growing and seeing results as you stay lean. And that's what it's all about. You don't want to be one of those guys on and off phase where in the winter time they are with a higher body fat percentage and then in the other months they are very lean. And it's like a cycle, you know, why not just stay lean year round? You also have a very specific body type. If you're an ectomorph, for example, building muscle might be more difficult for you and you have a higher metabolic rate, so you will need to eat more. Having said that, you cannot just then look at other bigger guys and compare yourself because, again, your muscles will grow the way they're meant to grow and your frame is the way it is. You just have to accept that. And that pretty much wraps this video up. If you're interested in a more in-depth guide with structure, check out the protocols in the description below. And if this video helped you out in any way, click like and subscribe. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll catch you in the next one.